everyone. I'm back in the classroom right now and it is very empty. I'm just gonna spin you around so you can see. Looks the same, but it's missing 20 people. So that's okay because we're gonna see each other tomorrow on Teams and I'm very excited for that. But right now, I'm just gonna set you up so we can see the whiteboard and I'm gonna do a little math lesson for you. So we finished circles and cylinders and now we're moving on to parallelograms. So we're still in the same unit. We're learning about shape and space of 3D objects. So get ready for the next one. Does anybody know what a parallelogram is? Anybody out there want to venture a guess? It's pretty quiet. I'm going to tell you. So get out your math journal or just a piece of paper and write this down. So, parallelogram. You can see that? Oh yeah. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral, which is a four-sided figure. Quad means four. So a quadrilateral with two pairs, this is the important part, of parallel sides. So it has to have two pairs of parallel lines, okay? So here's some examples. Parallelogram. 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 Not a parallelogram because these two are parallel, but these two would intersect. Not a parallelogram. Okay? Isn't that nice? Look at that. I missed this. Okay, so next little part. Rectangles and squares, as you already know, are parallelograms. Any parallelogram that is not a rectangle, so such as this one, right? That's not a perfect rectangle. So any parallelogram that is not a rectangle can be rearranged to form a rectangle. And I will show you what I mean. You guys keep you still? Yeah, good. You can see down here still is what I was trying to say. Example. So this is a parallelogram. Okay. So if you chop off that part of it, see how that forms a little triangle? It is a right-angled triangle. If you were just to take that triangle, move it over here, you would end up with that shape over there. So what you would actually end up with, it has now been moved is that shape. Because this, I just picked it up, moved it over there, and look, it is a perfect rectangle. So what do you think the formula is, class, for finding the area of a parallelogram? What's the formula for finding the area of a rectangle? Well, they're the exact same thing. So here we go. I am going to erase this top part. If you are not done, just back up or press pause right now. Okay, so I'll keep that bottom part there for now. One more parallelogram because we need to get good at drawing these. This is the height. Okay, you can see in the rectangle down here that it would also be considered the height of a rectangle because it's the exact same distance. Okay, this is the base across from one corner to the next. Okay, and again, same thing in a rectangle. This would be considered the base. So the formula is simply base times height. So if you could please box that or highlight it, make it stand out because that is super, super important. In a rectangle, you might hear the words length and width. Area equals length times width. It's the same thing, they're just calling it different. They've called the two things, they've given them two different names. So that's fine. We have base and height. All right, or you can have length and width. So that is the formula. Now let's do an example together. Okay, so example. Find the area, remember that's what we're doing, of a parallelogram with a base of 7 centimeters and height of 15 centimeters. Okay, so I always like to start, I am a visual person, so I would start by drawing this out. So we have a base of 7 and a height of 15. So you know your parallelogram is going to be taller than it is wide. So just like roughly estimate. Let's just get comfortable with drawing angled parallelograms. We could draw a straight up rectangle too, but we're pretty familiar with those. So let's challenge ourselves and let's draw all right. Oh yeah, looks pretty good to me. Okay, so this is 7 centimeters. And the height, so from the bottom, you want it to go to the peak. So actually, let's start at the top. There we go, that way we knew that it would line up. Right, so from the bottom to the very top, the height is, what did I say, 15. Okay, so that's what our parallelogram looks like. Now, always, always, always start with what? The formula. Area equals base times height. Then fill in what you know. Area, we do not know that yet, so A stays the same. Base, 7. Add that little multiplication symbol in there, or a dot, or brackets, but you can't just put a number beside a number. So 7 times 15. Well, what is 7 times 15? I think I just got a Teams message. Huh. 105 centimeters. We are talking about area, so you need to put the squared symbol. That is something that a few of you forgot in your circle and cylinder assessment. So I'm reminding you now, you need that squared symbol there. And this was a word problem, so we're gonna put this in a final sentence. So the area, simple as that, is 105 centimeters squared. I got another T message. You guys are loving this. Okay, 105 centimeters squared, period. That is the answer, okay? Any questions? You can email me if you have them. We're gonna do one more example together though, an example where the area has been given and you have to solve for perhaps the base or the height. So I'm going to erase this, so pause now if you need it for a longer time. Okay, fresh start. Example number 2. So the area of a parallelogram is 48 centimeters squared. You cannot forget the squared. I'm just gonna like emphasize that a lot and a lot and a lot. You also know that if you see a squared symbol, you know the question has given you the area, right? Like say I just said the something of a parallelogram is 48 centimeters squared. What is that something? The something is the area, right? Because it's squared, you know, oh, that's what they've given me, okay? So there you go. I'm also giving you the base is 4 centimeters. What, that was a funky W, is the height? Okay, that was a nice question mark. Ooh. What is the height? Okay, so again, always, always, always start with a formula. This guy's gonna be trickier to draw just because we don't know what the height is. But if you wanna just draw a parallelogram just for the sake of seeing it, go ahead and do that. I'm gonna start off with the formula. Formula equals area equals base times height. Area, we know. Base, we know. Do we know the height? Nah, nada, kaput, nothing. So we have to put the H there, okay? You can't just leave it out, okay? You have to put the H there. So now we have 48 equals 4 times H. We need to isolate the variable. We need to get H all by itself. What do we do? That's right. You divide by the 4 because you do the opposite. Right now, H is being multiplied by a 4, so you need to divide by the 4 to eliminate it. Okay? So again, it's not like the 4 just magically disappeared, but how many times does 4 go into 4? 1 time, right? So you technically have 1 H left over, but if you have 1 apple, you could also just have an apple. You don't need to say the 1. If you have 1 hamburger, 1 H, you could also just say I have an H, right? So you don't even need to put the 1 there. So the 4s kind of do, just, you know, they're no longer there. But you also have to divide the left-hand side by 4. Whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other. How many times does 4 go into 48? 12. So 12 equals 8. Sorry, 12 equals 8. How, pardon me, what are the units? Centimeters. Okay, so you need a final sentence. So we're gonna say the height. Yeah, we can just keep it simple. The height is 12 centimeters. Ta-da! That is not rocket science. Step by step, lots of fun. I hope you enjoyed. Questions will be coming your way, but make sure you have these notes written down and you can refer to the questions later. Ciao everyone, miss you so much.